Good morning. As I was just walking up over here, I was thinking, would it be a fun day when instead of 300 people, we have 300 chatbots sitting over here and listening? But maybe some other day. But really excited to welcome you all. Thank you for the warm hospitality. London is always feels like home, nice food, nice ambience, and now balmy weather. So thank you for joining us today. Before I dive in and start talking about why we are here, what is our mission, what we are here to do, I have to tell you a story. A couple of months back, I was on the road meeting a number of our customers and talking to them about how they're using Eightfold, what value they are getting, what they can do to get more value out of it, what are the future plans, and so on. And one customer shared a story with me which just touched my heart. They were telling about how they are getting the value out of Eightfold, everything they are doing, and all nice. But they were going through their own RIF process. And as part of the RIF process, what they were able to do is redeploy 20+ people a week. And the excitement was that because of that, there was a net dollar saving of more than $1 million a week. But for me, on that day, it was clear that we are achieving our mission of enabling the right career for everyone in the world. That is what we are here to talk about today. That is the journey that we are on. And thank you for joining us all on that journey. This is the second time we are in Europe. I'm speaking over here. A year back, I was here. And at that time, we were still thinking, are we going to go through the recession or not? How the world is going to evolve? How things are going to unfold? But a year later, we are still uncertain. We still don't know what's going to happen to the world. But things are looking exciting. Then 2 weeks back, we gathered in San Francisco. A group of folks like yourself had a fun event, a lot of networking, excitement, talk about variety of things, but the single most important topic that we discussed, the single most important thing that was everyone's top of the mind was AI. Any guesses? The AI term was coined almost 67 years back in 1955. And back in 1998, when I came to US for my PhD, I got a scholarship to study AI. And believe it or not, I was like, I don't want to do AI. This is so archaic. Who wants to do AI, right? Let's do something like VLSI, EDA, design, other things, right? But not AI. But guess what? Today, when I call my mom, and now she no longer asks me, Ashu, have you eaten the food? Have you slept well? Are you doing well? She's like, can you tell me more about AI? What's happening with this ChatGPT? Can I use it or something? But that's the world we are living in today. And more is coming in every day. But at the same time, the rate of the change in this world is faster than ever. Almost every day you get up in the morning and you feel like you are on a pendulum. Don't know which direction it will swing. In 2020, in March, it was like world is going to come to an end. What happened with COVID was beyond science fiction, beyond our imagination. And the only thing that was beyond my imagination in 2020, in March, was what unfolded over the next couple of months, the recovery that happened, the rate, at the speed at which we started hiring again, we started growing again, the digital transformation took our life. But then, what happened? Recession, inflation, and then ChatGPT, OpenAI, variety of things, right? And challenge is that as HR leaders, we have to constantly react to these things in real time. But humans are resilient, and what makes them resilient, what has kept us going, what has kept us succeeding is really the concept of skills. Humans are extremely capable, persistent, perseverance people, right? They keep going on and on and on. But what we can do depends on what skills we have, what skills we can learn, what we can do with, how can we grow. 7 years back, when we started the company, everyone was like, Ashu, you're not from HR, so what do you think about skills? What is a skill? What is a capability? What is a potential? What is a trait, ability, variety of things? Is it a verb? Is it something else? And I always struggle to explain what is a skill. And over the last 2 months, 6 months, 3 months, this topic is suddenly top of the mind thing for everyone. You go to any boardroom, you go to any meeting, everyone is like, let's talk about skills. Let's talk about skill economy. And that got me thinking, what is truly a skill? Is Java a skill? Is public speaking a skill? What is a skill? And so I was reflecting on it, and I have to tell you a story to define how we think of skills at Eightfold. And this is the story of my 6-year-old child, Ayansh. Some interesting pictures over here, right? So what happened a couple of months back? My wife was on vacation. She went home, to her home. So I was alone with my 6-year-old. And what do you do when you're alone with a 6-year-old? You just throw a party. And you throw a party, and you don't want to leave any traces, right? Any signs? No, I was just working hard. I was taking care of him. Nothing. House is all clean, right? So I threw a party and invited 15 of my friends from our office. They showed up. Have a nice time. We served the appetizers. But guess what? As soon as appetizers were done and we shifted to the main course, the table was all clean. Everything was all clean. All the dishes were in dishwasher. Then, as soon as we were done with dinner, this guy went, cleaned up all the dishes, stocked the dishwasher, emptied the dishes, put them in the fridge. Everything was spick and span, believe it or not. And I may have some folks over here who can attest to it, right? Jeff, I think you can attest to it, right? And if anyone of us are wondering how to train a 6-year-old to do all these things, let's come and have a conversation on the side. But you might be wondering why I'm telling you about this whole thing, right? Washing dishes, stocking the refrigerator, this is all interesting for a 6-year-old, but that is not the exciting thing. The exciting thing is, what does this tell me about his potential? If I look at the data of millions of people across the globe, what I can learn from it. As they say, right, you start showing early signs. Today, in the industry, what are the most powerful skills one can have? These are the skills of organization. These are the skills of perseverance. These are the skills of being detail-oriented. These are the skills focused on outcomes, those things. And the people who have those do really well in their career. Now, I can look at those things and guess and infer his potential based on that. I can do it for 5 of my friends, 10 of my friends, but I can't do it for 2 billion knowledge workers in the world. But that is our mission. Our mission is to enable the right career for everyone in the world. What we want to be able to do is look at each person and say that based on what you have done, what can you do next? Because Java may be there, may not be there. Writing as a skill may be there, may not be there. But based on whatever I've done till date, what can I do next? And the only thing I can use for that is AI. Now, whether you call it AI, statistical programming, genetic programming, machine learning, data science, you name it, doesn't matter. The ability of computers to analyze vast amount of data, make sense out of it, and drive outcomes. Now, of course, as AI is coming in, becoming part of the mainstream, part of our daily lives, one thing is there's a fear around it as well. Is this new thing? Is this safe? Is this going to help me? Is this going to hurt me? What will it do to me? And so we start wondering, should we use AI or not? Should we adopt AI or not? But guess what? It's already there in our lives. Anyone remembers, especially, I've not spent much time in UK, but in US, 10 years back, I would call AT&T and say that if I need any help. Anyone remembers those days? And AT&T system will be like, can you please repeat again? What did you say? And you'll keep pressing 0 to get to the operator, and it will be like, no, but please tell me what is your problem, and system will never understand that. But today, when I'm sleepy, at 2 a.m., I get up, I'm like, Alexa, set an alarm for 6 a.m. It knows exactly what I'm talking about. It can understand my heavy Indian accent, and it still makes sense out of it. And that is possible because of AI. My wife always complains that you're a bad driver. And I always tell, I've not gotten a ticket in the last 10 years. Knock now. Why? Because AI is there to help me stay in the speed limit. AI is there to help me stay in the lane. Whether it is sun, whether it's raining, whether it is snowing, whether it is hilly curve, doesn't matter. AI is already there helping me. And you might wonder, is it only in those kind of things? I hope none of you will have to ever go through a CT scan. During my undergrad, the most fascinating thing that I learned, and you may say that, why am I talking about electrical engineering over here? So we learn about CT scan, how they work. Millions of X-rays are piercing through your body. They don't cut you open your body. They just pierce X-rays through your body and use those machine learning signal processing to reconstruct the 3D diagram of your body. And your doctor, your physician, relies on that to tell you whether you have a tumor or not. So the most critical thing, your own life depends on AI today. So AI is already in our life. And 7 years back, we decided to bring AI to HR. We said that how can we use AI to understand the skills people have? How can we use AI to understand their potential, what these people can do? Because I was just tired of you today get the job based on who you know. 20 years back, when I applied for a job at Google, no call from them. They're like, who are you? We don't know you. We don't care about you, right? 3 months later, I met someone, and within 5 days, I had the offer letter in hand. And I was like, I'm going to change that world. So let's use AI. And what we have done at Eightfold, which many of you are using and many of you are exploring, is use AI to understand skills. More importantly, understand potential. Use that to understand what every role pertains. What is required to be successful in each and every role, leading to what we call jobs intelligence engine. And the foundation of that leads to building a matching engine that can connect people to the right opportunities. Not only what job someone can do, but what are the gaps? What can it tell me about the career path one can take to get there? And then leading to all kinds of activities, whether it is around attracting the talent, hiring the talent, learning and development, succession planning, growth, upskilling, diversity, all those things. And no surprise, because of the power of AI, today I'm excited to share with you all that Eightfold is being used across 100+ countries, across 25+ languages, across 20+ industries. Because it's not about industry, it's not about language, it is really about skills, potential. Ultimately, we are the same human beings as we move from one company to another, one organization to another, one function to another. And the beauty of that is we start to see the outcomes. I told you about a story of $1 million in saving. But have you ever wondered, as HR professionals, how much time you are spending reviewing the candidates? How much time you are spending managing through the pipeline? How much time your hiring managers are spending going through each job description? Or for every role, if you have to interview 10 people in person, you have almost 50 hours worth of interviews going in. So one of the enterprises I was talking to, they shared the story of how they are getting an efficiency improvement of more than $35 million a year. But it's just not that. Whether it is time to hire at reducing by almost 25, 30, 40% across enterprises. Whether it is about reduction in attrition. Whether it is about improvement in diversity, which is something which is very close, near and dear to my heart. Whether it is about internal mobility, whether it is about highly engaged workforce, that is the exciting thing over here. But as you might start thinking that AI is good, AI is in our life, we are talking about AI, but what is leading to development in AI? Why is this so much excitement? Is it just a matter of chance? What happened 63 years later that suddenly all of us are talking about AI? When we started the company, everyone questioned, why AI? Let's not talk about AI. Do you really want to talk about AI? And today, it is all taken for granted, right? So give me 5 minutes. I'll walk you through why that is happening. And for that, I have to just go back to my basics, my geeky, my nerdy nature. The single most important advancement that happened, any takers, is drop in storage cost. There was a time when Bill Gates got on the stage, probably not very dissimilar to this one, and said that you will never need more than 1 megabyte of storage. 1 megabyte of storage, think about it, right? That is all you will ever need. And over time, thanks to many of our customers working on chip design, the storage has been getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. Today, I'm sure your cell phone has more power, more storage than that 1 MB that Bill Gates talked about, right? And then what do you do when you have all this storage? I remember when I moved from 1-bedroom apartment to 3-bedroom house, my wife was like, this is too big. We don't need this much space, right? A month later, it was all full. Then we moved to another bigger house, all full. And guess what? Even with that, and we have a 3-car garage, cars are outside because garage is full with this stuff. And this is just not in the physical world. This is not in your homes only, right? When you go to Tesco today, probably for example, and you buy a pack of potato chips, they have no idea you bought potato chips because you love potato chips, or because you are here to buy tortilla chips, but you couldn't find those and you bought the potato chips. But Amazon, when you go to them, they know literally each and everything you looked at. What are the things you considered, what you bought, what you didn't buy. So even in the digital world, our habits are same. If we have storage, let's fill it up. And like now, we are about to reach zettabytes of data. Don't ask me what that means. Some crazy, crazy large number, but it's a very, very large number. Now we have storage, and thanks to Moore's law, we have the power to analyze that data. So today, compute is becoming cheaper. We can analyze each and everything. So what do? You start building machine learning models, and you start making them more and more complex. So in 2018 on itself, the work was going on in large language models, and these models were big. They had 100 millions of parameters. And I'm sure many of you are losing me, right? AI conference, HR conference, talent conference, skill conference, and I'm stuck into models, model parameters, 100 million parameters, right? Can I get a show of hands of how many people know about ChatGPT? Wait, actually, can I see even one person's hand who does not know about ChatGPT? Probably not, right? How many people knew about large language models in 2018? That's it. Because these models were small, they had 100 million parameters, that's it. And then we made them more complex, we added more parameters, we added more parameters. And guess what? How many parameters are there in our human brain? How many neurons are there? Roughly 90 billion neurons. And not a surprise, maybe this is a coincidence, but why not, right? This is the time it became popular. All of us heard about it. Over here, we were saying, what is this machine learning? It doesn't work. It's all crappy. It's all poor language, right? But then it surpassed. And what happened? In the last trip that I was there, I thought, I've been out of home, so let me write a poem for my wife, and I will get a lot of love back from her. She will be very excited to read that poem. And guess what? She was like, this is lame. This is too good. You couldn't have written it. It has to be from ChatGPT, right? But it has taken over the world. It is the fastest growing solution ever. So just comparing Instagram to ChatGPT over here, right? And what is the implication? Why are we talking about it? Why, especially as HR professionals, we are talking about it today? Because the amount of development we are likely to see in next 5 years is greater than probably what we have seen in last 25 years. And I won't be surprised if what we see in next 10 years will be faster, more than we have ever seen in humanity. This is beyond our imagination. Everything we do,
we're tracking slide
everything will change.
Out of 20.
My poetry skills are changing, definitely, as I mentioned. I'm sure Leah, Shavi over here on a marketing team are using ChatGPT to write stuff. If you're a content marketer, you are using it. If you're developing images, you are using it. If you're a software engineer, programming is getting automated. If you're a QA person, testing person, things are getting automated. The interesting thing is the creative work is getting automated faster than non-creative work. The white-collar job is getting displaced faster than non-white-collar job. Every role, as we know, is changing. Pick a role. And sometimes when I'm telling this story in a group setting, people are like, which is the role that is going to get interrupted last or will be there for the longest time? And I can't utter the word because I have some lawyer friends over here who are about to pass a law saying that use it for everything but for law. And the implication to us HR professionals is that every role is changing, and our role as a result is changing. Our role is no longer just about hiring. Our role is no longer about L&D. Our role is no longer about payroll and benefits. Our role is no longer about compliance. We need to become the custodian of the rest of the organization. Because as organizations are changing, we need to guide them around what talent they have, what talent they need, where they need to go. Because either organizations will change, adopt, adjust, or they'll be left behind. And this is the moment, this is the time of us HR professionals. We need to take the charge of the organizations. And to take the charge of that organization, the very first thing, the single most important thing, just one word, is skills. Truly understand skills. We need to transform ourselves from a static, top-down, structured organization to a skill-based organization. Today, the only options that we have is when COVID happens, hire, 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 or post-COVID recovery happens, right? Those are the challenges we run into. We really don't know the talent that we have in our company. We don't know how do we guide that, how do we grow that talent, right? But only if we have great understanding of the skills of each and every person in my company, if we have great understanding of what skills are required in which role to succeed, we can completely transform ourselves. Now, instead of just constantly in this hiring spree, right? Don't you ever feel like you're on a treadmill and there's no slowing down? As soon as you're done, you have done the hiring and everything, suddenly a new set of requirements come in, the roles change, requirements change, and you're back to it. But if you knew about the skills, you can figure out who to keep, who to upscale, who to redeploy, when to hire on contract versus full-time, all kinds of things. And most importantly, you can now truly start talking about what a skill-based org should look like. Everyone has been talking about diversity. Over the last 6 years, it is one of the, after skills and ChatGPT, probably the hottest thing, most important thing. There have been studies by McKinsey and Harvard where they have talked about how companies which have diverse workforce perform better than the ones which don't. I don't think there's doubt in anyone's mind, is diversity important or not? But let's say you have an organization, your entire go-to-market is made of men, your entire non-go-to-market is made of women. Is that truly a diversity? No. Are you getting the benefit of diverse skill set? In that case, no. Or value, no. So we have to really start talking about skill-based diversity. And as you're talking about skill-based diversity, now we can truly talk about skill-based compensation. In San Francisco, 2 weeks back, when we were having Cultivate over there, the single most important topic that came up during those conversations was, can I have skill-based, so it's compensation. But I don't think we are ready for that today. If suppose you start to open it up today, it will be a mess. And the reason it will be a mess because we don't even know the skills of our own people. We are not hiring skill-based. Our roles are not really skill-based, right? So our goal is, let's make that happen now, and next year, hopefully when we are here on the stage, hopefully much bigger than this one, we will talk about skill-based compensation. But today, I'm here to share with you what we announced 2 weeks back in San Francisco, skill-based talent planning. Because this is the foundation of everything that you need in this ever-changing world. If you're a company, someone is saying that, okay, what is the impact of AI going to be over here? How should we change ourselves? If there's 5G, there's any other disruption going on, how are you going to change, right? And for that, the very first thing that is needed is understanding of skills. Today, we know about our people more on day 0, the day they join, than day 365. We know more about our people on day 0, and then we start forgetting them. We only know what they're doing today in their job. We forget what they did before joining us, what they did earlier in their career, what they have studied, what are the hidden skills they have. So very first thing Eightfold does is that now focuses on helping enterprises understand what skills they have, what skills are in the industry, what skills are in their competition, what skills are present in the best of the class of companies in that space. Because if you're a financial institution, you may want to be like Disney when it comes to customer service. You may like to be like Amazon when it comes to cloud. You may be like Google when it comes to AI, and so on. So really helping enterprises understand what are the skills, how these skills are changing over time, which is getting in demand, which is not, where they distribute across the globe, and so on. This is awesome, all awesome. And many of you may get very excited that, well, now we know all about the skills, right? But as I mentioned, in this changing world, knowing is not enough. Because whatever we know today will get outdated very, very quickly. And the one that I find most fascinating is Python. As a software engineer, as a technologist, Python is one of the hottest skills, right? Especially if you want to do machine learning, learn Python. Many of you may have kids, you may be asking them. Like I was 9-year-old, and every day in the morning I was telling him, learn Python, 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 Python. But now I wonder for how long Python is going to be there. It's at the skill which is at the highest risk of disruption. This skill may not be needed in 2 years from now. If you're a 5G, you're thinking about your telco. But if you're a banking institution, I'm sure over the last 5 years, you're every day wondering, is blockchain an important skill or not? Is crypto going to be there, or is gold going to become the new currency again, right? So basically, they are constantly industry impacting trends that are happening. What is the impact of these trends on all these skills? And what does that tell me about a future role? First, I help you understand what is your organization, what are the skills you have, what is the skills in the industry. Next, impact of industry trends, impact trends on those skills, on those roles, so that you can define the role of the future. And once you have that, can you use that to really replan your entire organization, whether it is around mobilizing the talent, whether it is about growing the talent, restructuring your organization, future-proofing your organization. So what is needed for that? Now I know who are the people in which role, how these roles are going to change, which of those people can quickly just go from role A to a future role, which of these people need to be upskilled, reskilled, how can I mobilize my talent internally, maybe this content marketing person should be moved to product marketing, and so on. But that's all amazing, exciting. But all of us know, right? We hire these consulting firms, we hire other people who give us advice, right? Every day someone comes to me and says that, Ashu, I have an advice for you. I can help you something. But these plans are all useless if you can't act on them. I'm sure all of you have desks full of all these plans, right? So what we are doing is we are weaving it into Eightfold platform so that you can start executing on all these plans in real time, at scale, in a self-service fashion, so as you can have always future-ready organization and agile organization. Whether it is about what talent I should attract, engage, blockchain, okay, let me start building a pipeline of those people automatically because that might come over time, right? Or as I'm moving from one location to another, one technology to another, can I upskill my current talent? Can I redeploy the talent? Maybe I should start to hire contingent workers because in this market, ups and downs, right? That may be the most flexible way for me to build my workforce. So I'm super excited to share with you all that going forward, Eightfold skill-based talent planning is going to be part of our talent intelligence platform, always available to you, so that not only you can make these plans, you can start executing them on these plans in the real time. But in true Eightfold spirit, we like to work with our customers, our partners who have been guiding us through this journey. So thank you all for joining me today. I'm really excited to share that some of the leading brands, leading organizations in Europe, Vodafone, Amgen, Cisco, Forvia, are here to share their stories around how they're using skills, how they're using AI, how they're managing their own talent, how they're transforming their organization. So thank you all for joining me today on that. But as Leah knows, I can keep going on and on and on, talking about AI, talent, skills, never ending, right? So we decided to write a book on deep talent. So if you're interested, please grab a copy of the book for yourself as you start working out, or request a copy. But truly, thank you for joining me. You know, it's really not about Eightfold. It's not about AI. It's not about skills. It's not about talent. That's not what I'm excited about. What I'm excited about is the opportunity that all of us have to solve for employment. Because if we can provide everyone a better job, better career, we are going to change the world forever. So thank you all. Let's have next couple of hours of fun, excitement, networking, good food, good drinks. Thank you all.